Managed service providers have long stuck to the mantra of people, processes and systems as the cornerstone of their success. But while systems keep improving and processes become more refined, it's increasingly challenging to build great teams. The pandemic has made many people reevaluate their relationship with work, with demands for greater flexibility, and it's getting harder to find staff prepared to work outside normal hours. This is a challenge that Staff Domain helps businesses overcome. Justin Pavsik, the CEO of Staff Domain, explains.
Staff Domain helps MSPs recruit, retain and engage staff all across the world. We're less of the AT&Ts of the world and Telstras of the world, and more of professional services. So usually what will happen is a client will come to us and say, hey, listen, I need a level 3 engineer or a NOC engineer or pretty much anything that you can think of MSP related. And we would then go obviously find those people maybe in South Africa, the Philippines or India, depending on what their specific requirements are. While a lot of MSPs do come to us specifically for level 1, 2, 3 tech support, as well as other roles, we also help them out with great things like billing support, accounts receivable, accounts payable, digital marketing, pre-sales engineers, and a bunch of other roles that you would not necessarily think about. Now, the good thing with that is you can build out a whole team that can service your clients while you guys focus on the bigger, more high value propositions that you need to get across the line to make the business run day to day, while they run all the things in the back end for you. The reality is that when you look at the different geographies, there are different talent pools in different parts of the world. And we also follow the sun mentality as well. So I'll give you an example. We're working with a couple of US clients at the moment that are looking for a after hours East Coast shift. Now, those staff we would place in the Philippines, but for an after hours shift in Australia, we would place those staff in South Africa, because that's a prime shift in those two particular countries, which will give us access to a greater talent pool to fill those roles.
Over the last couple of years, we've seen the world change very quickly. Digital transformations have accelerated and MSPs have been at the forefront of that wave of change.
One of the things we've noticed, obviously, that's paramount at the moment is the tightening labour market. We're seeing, obviously, in Australia and New Zealand, all across the developing world, that level 1, for example, level 1 technicians are coming in and asking for level 3 pays and salaries, which is obviously putting a lot of pressure on the employers and the labour market in that regards. Above and beyond that, there's just not that many people that are actually looking to go back into full-time employment. So we're seeing a great talent shortage in developed countries. So it's putting a lot of pressure, obviously, on us to find those people in different countries. The other thing is people are working to more flexible working arrangements. People are now wanting to work from home and getting those people in to do those, I guess, odd hour shifts are becoming harder and harder for MSPs. So as we progress and as we grow, we're seeing that employees now are wanting more work-life balance, particularly in developed countries, as opposed to before, where we'd see a trend where there'd be a lot of MSP employees doing longer hours to get the work done. Now it's really becoming that balance. The other thing is, like I said, I mentioned that battle for talent. We've seen huge numbers of resignations and movements within MSPs across, even in Sydney itself and other parts of Australia and the world, where people are moving from one company to another for pay increases almost every quarter, which can be significantly bad for MSP stability overall.
In order for MSPs to be successful, they need to be prepared to meet the changing needs of their customers. And while new and emerging technologies are powerful enablers, customers are looking for new and creative ways to meet their changing demands.
You used to find that the bulk of the work was done by MSPs was done during the day shift, for example, the 9 to 5 or the 9 to 6. The reality is, because there is a shifting, flexibility around employment in developed countries and in the countries that we service, that means that we have to have more people on staff and ready to, facilitate any kind of or fix any kind of challenges that come up during those odd hours. So, whereas, you might have seen previously a huge number of tickets at 9 o'clock in the morning, straight out the gate, or 8:30 in the morning or 7 in the morning when people are first coming into work, you're now seeing that number obviously scattered across different times. And you're getting those people that are working, 5-6 hours in the afternoon and a couple of hours late at night, and they need to be serviced as well. The problem is that finding staff in Australia or in New Zealand or anywhere else in developed countries to work those odd hour shifts to be able to service those clients is becoming increasingly difficult. And that's where we're seeing a trend more towards the follow the sun mentality, where you can have somebody that's in the office servicing your staff or servicing your clients, I should say, from a remote location, but in their day shift, in their mid shift, or in a shift that is appealing to them in their local markets.
Perhaps the greatest challenge facing MSPs and their customers is the demand for flexibility. The so-called Great Resignation has largely been driven by people seeking better ways to balance their personal and work lives. By sourcing people from different geographic areas, it's possible for MSPs to maintain and even enhance services while offering their teams better opportunities to achieve a work-life balance.
Flexibility breeds productivity. The reality is that people want to determine when they want to work and when they can do their best work. Some of us have kids, and we'd love to go pick them up in the afternoon. And employers that will give that flexibility will get it back in bundles from their staff. Now, the reality is in some countries that we operate in, we can't actually offer hybrid or work from home arrangements. They have to be in office, simply due to the fact that there are not so stable internet connections and power connections in those countries. But we can offer flexibility in other ways, which can help encourage the staff to give you, lower attrition, but also greater resolve when it comes to getting things done for you.
Finding the right people has always been critical for managed service providers. Intelligent sourcing offers numerous benefits and can give MSPs the skills and personnel they need to offer superior services across a broad range of disciplines at times that work for the business and its clients.
I think intelligent sourcing can help those clients get access to talent that they wouldn't be able to get access to in their local markets, to be able to facilitate better service to their clients in those odd hours. I'll give you an example. We deal with a lot of clients that are based in Sydney and Melbourne and all across the eastern seaboard of Australia. It's very hard to get a level 3 tech to work a night shift in those developed countries, right? Simply because they have options. They don't have to do that shift for you anymore. They can go to another company, get the same or maybe more money to do a normal day shift. So in this particular case, you can have access to great talent that are happy to work those hours in their day shift, in their prime shift, so they can also have a greater work-life balance, but still give your customers the best level of service that you can possibly expect.
Fulfilling the need to have the best people available when you need them has long been a challenge for managed service providers. Traditional staffing models, which have relied on finding local resources that are prepared to work odd hours and be on call, are no longer capable of meeting all the needs of a modern MSP. Intelligent sourcing is the answer. By recruiting highly skilled staff who work in different time zones, it's possible to deliver around-the-clock service to clients while giving them workplace and lifestyle flexibility. In our 24/7 365 world, it makes sense to follow the sun when it comes to building teams. Staff Domain's expertise in finding people across the world helps MSPs adopt an intelligent sourcing model that helps them support customer demands whenever they arise, while giving staff the flexibility to enjoy a balanced life.
The modern workplace and the technology that's involved in it is ever evolving. And the reality is there are some great features and there's some great software out there that can help us do our jobs better. The reality is, though, that no matter how much technology you have and how good it is, you will always need staff to operate it. At the end of the day, there are just some challenges that will require human intervention. Then the good thing is, with intelligent sourcing and a follow the sun mentality, you can have access to a global workforce that is at the absolute apex of their game, servicing your clients 24 hours a day in the times that you need them to be there.